I've got 31 years with the Federal Service, but I actually came to Omaha originally to work in the Civil Engineering Squadron at Offutt Air Force Base. And I worked there for 3 years, and then I came to the Corps. And I originally worked in Design Branch, and then from there at the Garrison Project for 10 years, and Big Bend Project for 12 years, and then back to Omaha. When I graduated from South Dakota State University, one of my professors had told me about an opening at Offutt and asked me if I was interested, and I made a phone call, and they asked me to come down for an interview, and that's how I came into Federal Service. There was one individual that, well, first of all, I would say is I've been very lucky in my career in that I've always felt that I had supervisors that were good to work for. Most of the supervisors I've had have been ones that would assign you work, kind of point you in the right direction and let you run on your own. And then if you had a question, you could come to them. And that worked well for me. So I've been very lucky, you know, having supervisors I enjoyed working for. When I was working at Garrison, we did a major rehab on that plant, and I was doing briefings to at a maintenance conference, and then one of the managers here in Omaha, his name was Bob Vodika, he then called me up later and asked if I was interested in possibly getting a supervisory job. And both the people that know Bob Vodika know that he was someone that liked to mentor employees. He would look for people he thought that would be good for to apply for a future supervisory position. And so he's the one that actually talked me into doing a detail at Big Bend for 120 days. And I did the detail, I enjoyed it, went back to Garrison, and then I saw him at another maintenance conference, and he asked if I was going to apply for the job, and I said no. You know, I was happy where I was at, and he told me that that was the wrong answer and encouraged me to put my name in the hat, and I was selected. Yeah, I would say that, you know, when I went from being a powerhouse engineer to being an OPM at Big Bend, you know, the first 2 years was just a huge learning experience. And it was very stressful, and I would say during that 2 years I thought about applying for my old job. But once I'd gone through a couple of years, seen a lot of the different issues, realized that it was something I could do. I really enjoyed working at Big Bend. I enjoyed the job. And the reason I bring that up in relation to the chief of engineering or chief of operations job is the fact that I do a lot of the same things, it's just on a much larger scale. You know, an OPM has to deal with the local cities, communities, state. They work with all 8 of our mission areas. And when you come to a chief of operations, I was able to bring that with me, and but then I had to learn how a district office works, because I hadn't. When I was in the district, I was a GS9. And coming as a GS15, I then had to develop relationships with the other division chiefs, learn what the commanders' priorities were and what they expected. And then, like, one of the things they'll tell you when you start looking at these positions is all the easy stuff's been done by the time it gets to you. You know, you're the one that has to sometimes make the difficult decision. You know, a lot of things that when I talk with the OPMs and the branch chiefs is, it's one of our responsibilities to look for the person that'll take our job. You know, we need to try and find 1 or 2 or 3 people that have the skills you think has that possibility, give them some details, give them some mentoring, and, you know, when you retire, you'd like to have 2 or 3 people that are more than qualified to apply for your job. So.
No April Fool's Day tricks on you? Or?
No, I can't think of anything necessarily here. when I turned 40 in the field, I came into my office and it was filled with coffins and black mache paper and that. Or I almost started the break room on fire, so I came back to my office as full of fire extinguishers. So, you know, the biggest thing looking ahead is I know I'm going to miss the people here in Omaha. I've really enjoyed the people I work with, and I enjoy working for the Corps and the missions we have, and I'm proud of what we do. You know, when I go home, I enjoy woodworking, I enjoy wood carving. I've got some old vehicles I'm going to work on, so that's kind of my plans for now. And I've had a thought of trying to find like a part-time job just to get out of the house and meet people, things of that nature. You know, I do really want to say is I have enjoyed working here at the Corps of Engineers, and I think the people we have in the field offices, at the project offices in Omaha, and then I've worked a lot with the division and some other projects, and like any large organizations, we're not perfect. You know, there's things we can improve on, but overall I think we've got a great organization.